Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to another meal prep video. In today's video, we are gonna do a very quick no-cook meal prep. So I am not gonna be cooking anything today. These are gonna be some very simple things that I'm just gonna throw together for meal prep this week. For breakfast prep this week, I'm gonna be doing Greek yogurt breakfast bowls. And then for lunch prep, it's just gonna be turkey roll-ups. Very simple. I have some dinner kits to put together and then very minimal to do with snacks this week again. So if you wanna see how I meal prep breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks for my husband and I, then stay with me. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kristi and I'm Planning Us Healthy. If you're new here, welcome. As I said, my name is Kristi. I'm currently following the WW Blue program, but I do provide the points for all three programs on my channel, and I also share calories as well. But you don't need to be on any type of weight loss program to get tips and ideas from my channel. I'd love to have you as part of our family. If you like meal prep videos, meal plans, grocery hauls, what's for dinner videos, things like that, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button and also click the notification bell so you're notified anytime I upload new content. So let's go get started with meal prep. So starting with breakfast this week, we're going to be making Greek yogurt breakfast bowls, and this is just going to be very easy. I'm just going to be using these protein yogurts. I get these from Aldi and they're really good. This is the mixed berry kind, but I am going to be adding some fruit to it as well. So in here I have some blackberries and raspberries that I've already washed. So I'm just going to put those on the top. I actually wanted to get some strawberries because since this already has the regular berries in it, I was just going to top it with some strawberries and banana, but they didn't have strawberries, so I'm just going to top it with those. I also have 4 bananas that I will probably cut up a half a banana in each one, but I'm not going to do that now because I'm afraid the bananas will get kind of brown by the time we eat them. I'm also going to be adding about 3/4 of a tablespoon of chia seeds and also this granola that I get from Aldi. It's coconut, I can never say that word, cacao, I think it is. And this is so good. This is the kind of granola that I have to be careful snacking on, honestly, because it is so good that it's addictive. It makes me want more. So I'm gonna just use about 12 grams of this. So for what I've done is I just went through this bag and really kind of crushed them up a little more because they kind of come in, you know, like some big chunks of nuggets in there. So I wanted it real crushed. I'm just gonna kind of put this over the top. Again, 12 grams I'm gonna be using for this. So the way that I'm making these, they're going to be 5 points on all programs and about 295 calories. I'm estimating how much the berries are just based on, I think I put in like 1/4 cup or something like that. So just if you're counting calories, make sure you account for all that. You definitely could lower this if you wanted to, you know, just have 1 point of the granola. If you want to leave the chia seeds out, y'all know that I just like the health benefits of chia seeds. So that's why I am willing to take the point with that. So for me, it's going to be 5 points. You may remember I used these bowls a couple weeks back when I did breakfast bowls. They're just bowls that kind of hook together, and then it hit me when I went to go heat them up that it's stainless steel, so you can't use these in the microwave. So I thought these would be perfect for these yogurt bowls. So I'm going to use this one, and then for my husband, I'm just going to use these glass bowls. So let me just go through one of these and show you what I'm going to do. I'm telling y'all, this is so easy. So I'm just going to put the yogurt in the bottom. If you want to put your fruit in the bottom, that's up to you. And I'm just using a rubber spatula so I can make sure that I get all of it out. Now I'm going to put it on my scale and I'm going to weigh out the granola. And I want 12 grams. Then I'm going to put in, I should have probably put the chia seeds in first. So about 3/4 of a tablespoon of chia seeds. Then just kind of mix that around just a little bit, just to kind of get the chia seeds down in there. They will help to kind of bulk it up. And then just throw in a few berries. And that is it. That's gonna be our breakfast. So again, that's gonna be 5 points on all programs and 295 calories. If you wanna wait and just add the fruit the day of, you can do that as well. So I'm just gonna go through and put the rest of these together real quick. Okay, so that is all there is to that. Let me just show you. So I usually just do 6 breakfasts and 6 lunches, but this week I did 8. So because it's just something really easy and I need an easy week because I have a busy week ahead of me, I just went ahead and did 4 of these and then 4 of the lunches. So normally I would put any links to any recipes down in the description box below. Obviously this doesn't really have a recipe, but I will list out what I put in it. Also the items I'm using, like my salad spinner, my glass dish, things like that, I'll link those down in the description box as well. Now we're moving on to our very simple lunches this week, and I want to apologize if you can hear some background noise. My husband is right out back pressure washing, so hopefully that's not too loud. So that's what we got going on. That's why I said if you hear anything in the background. He just realized I was recording him. So for lunches this week, I'm going to be doing turkey roll-ups, and let me show you what I'm going to use. At this point right now, I'm really not sure exactly how many points they are because until I put them together, I'm not going to know exactly how much of everything I'm putting on, but I will make sure to put it up on the screen how many points it is. So the bread that I'm using is the lavash bread, and Aldi also has a version that's very similar to this and the same points. For these, you can have a whole flatbread for 2 points. And if you're counting calories, it's 120 calories for the whole flatbread. So let me show you the size of these. I did little pizzas on these before. So this is what I'm going to be using, and I'm just going to be rolling them up and cutting them into little like pinwheel type things. So I'm using one of those for each one. I have some Boar's Head Oven Gold turkey breast here. This is 0 on blue and purple and 1 point on green. So I'm going to be using that. And if you're counting calories, I think this kind is 60 calories for 2 ounces. I'm also going to just use 1 slice of Appleton Farms fully cooked bacon. For the 1 slice is 1 point. If you're counting calories, it's 80 calories for 3 slices. On mine, I'm going to use the Laughing Cow cheese. Basically what I do is just spread it on the bread. My husband is going to use mayonnaise, but he just wants the mayonnaise on the side so he can kind of dip the pinwheels in it. So I'll do his different. So the first ones I show you will just be the way I'm doing mine for the points. If you're counting calories for this kind, it's 30 calories. And the garlic and herb kind is the kind that is 2 points for 2 wedges. So a lot of the Laughing Cow cheese, once you get to 2 wedges, it's 3 points. But this kind, because it's 30 calories, is 2 for 2. I also have some Borden 2% cheese. These are 2 points per slice. I haven't decided if I'm going to use those in mine. I may just put some on my husband's, but I haven't decided on mine. And then the other thing I have here is just some romaine lettuce that I've just washed. And I'm just going to take my salad spinner and just spin it dry. All right, that should be good. The other thing I have here is just some baby carrots. I'm just going to throw these in the meal prep container on the side. And that's going to be our lunch. Another very simple one this week. So let me put one of these together, and I'm going to do, like I said, I'll do the way mine is for the points. My plans are to just use 1 Laughing Cow cheese wedge. We're going to see what it comes out to. So typically for my breakfast and lunch, I try not to get them over like 5 points. My dinners typically are maybe around 10, so it just depends what I'm having for dinner. So you want to try and spread this around and see how far you can make it go. See if we need 2 or not. Yeah, I think I'm going to use 2 on mine. So it's going to be 2 points for the cheese, 2 points for the bread. The turkey is 0, and then my bacon will be 1, and I'm not going to use a piece of cheese on mine. So this way mine is going to be 5 points. I basically use this now like in place of cheese and mayonnaise, and I really like it. Now we're just gonna lay some of the lettuce right down the middle. Now just take the piece of bacon, put that down there. You can kind of break it apart if you want to even it out a little bit. And then finally I'm going to weigh out 4 ounces of turkey. And we'll see if that's going to be too much. I may just use 2 or 3. So that's 4 ounces, a little over. So I think I'm going to do the 4 ounces. So if you're on green or you're counting calories and you want to save yourself a little bit, then just cut it down. Don't use as many. Now what we're going to do is just take that and just roll it up. And just try to roll it just as tight as you can. So I have the ends that don't really have, I didn't take it all the way to the end, but that's okay. Roll it up like that. Then just go through it and cut it into little sections. And that is what they look like. So because these are baby carrots and they're really kind of moist, I'm gonna take some baking cups and I'm just gonna put the carrots in a baking cup just because I just don't want to take the chance that the water from the carrots is gonna leak onto the bread and make it soggy. So just throw some carrots in there and put that right in there. And that is going to be the lunch. Super simple, but a nice little lunch. So these are very versatile. Make them the way that you want to make them. So any way that you would normally make a sandwich, you can make these. So easy. You can do whatever sides you want, but that's just an example of how I do it. So the way that they ended up being 5 points on blue and purple, 6 points on green, and if you're counting calories, I estimated about 330 calories. I just estimated just a few calories for the lettuce. So again, you can definitely tweak it, make it your own. All right, so I just want to show you how I'm doing my husband. So he didn't want anything on the bread. He's going to dip it in mayonnaise or horseradish sauce or whatever he decides. So just a squirt of mustard on it, and then I'm putting 1 piece of the cheese. I just kind of broke it into 4 pieces, and that's it. That's all that's going to be on his. So that's it for our lunches. So these ones are my husband's with the cheese on it, and these ones are mine. And he can't decide if he wants mayonnaise on the side or horseradish sauce, so he said he'll just add that later. Okay, moving on to our dinner kits. If you're new to my channel, I just kind of do DIY dinner kits, similar to the meal delivery services that you might get. I just do my own. So just basically weighing everything, portioning it out, not washing it or anything, just putting everything in the bag, just so that it's already portioned, ready to go. And the biggest reason that I like doing these is because I usually just do enough for 2 portions for my husband and I, and that way there are no leftovers. There's no way that we can overeat on points that night. So it just makes it a lot easier. So normally what I do is use these reusable bags and I write with a dry erase marker on there, but I forgot to buy a new dry erase marker. So for this week, I had to do things a little different, just kind of took a paper and wrote it on there. So I'm just writing the points for all programs and the calories just for you. But if I were not doing my channel, I would just write what it is, and then whatever program I'm on, I would just write the points for that. So a couple of these, I have 3 dinner kits to do this week, and a couple of these you'll see over here, I have in parentheses rice and peas, and this one in parentheses mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts. That's because I'm not putting those in the bag, because I'm just going to use the instant mashed potatoes and frozen Brussels sprouts. For the rice, I will just use the 90-second ready rice and then frozen peas. So those don't go in there, so I just write that so I know what I'm going to have on the side. So the points are just for the meat on these 2. And then on this one, this is sheet pan teriyaki salmon and vegetables. I've never tried this one. It's a Skinny Taste recipe that I just found, and I'm anxious to try it. For this one, I'm gonna have everything already in there, so the points and the calories are based on the entire dinner because I'm gonna be putting the vegetables and everything in the bag. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with that one first. And let me show you what I'm doing. For this one, I'm doing it a little bit different because the recipe calls for 10 of those little mini peppers, but I had some regular peppers that I want to use up, so I'm just gonna throw those in there. So let me just go through and kind of cut my broccoli up some. So I just cut it up a little bit. I'm gonna take that paper out of there for now. I can always cut them up a little more the night we have them. I don't think I'm gonna fit everything in this bag, to be honest with you. And then the peppers go in there. And I had some butternut squash in my freezer, so I'm gonna stick that in there. I think that'll be good on the tray as well. So what I do is just go through and see if there's anything that I can go ahead and put in the bag now. For the vegetables, it's the broccoli, the peppers, sesame oil, kosher salt, and black pepper. So I'll do that the night that we have it. I'm assuming that you just kind of drizzle that over. The salmon, there's a marinade that you do, and you only marinate it for 10 minutes. So I'm putting together the marinade, but I'm not going to put the salmon in the marinade yet. This recipe is enough for 2 portions, but I am doubling this for the marinade because the salmon that I'm using has more salmon. I've mentioned before on salmon night, we always make more than 2 portions so our dogs can have some salmon as well. So for this, I just took these and doubled it. But if you're just doing the 2 portions, it's 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 grated garlic clove, 1/2 teaspoon of grated ginger, 2 tablespoons of reduced sodium soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of unsweetened rice vinegar, and 1 teaspoon of brown sugar. And I'm just using the regular brown sugar because that's what she uses for the points and calories in hers. So I just have a disposable gallon bag that I'm going to use just to put the marinade. I have everything in there except for the ginger and the garlic. So I'm just going to I just have my grater here. I'm just going to grate some of that up now. Okay, so that's it for the marinade. So I'm just gonna seal that up and put that right in the bag. All right, so all that is in there, and I then have my salmon, which is clearly not gonna fit in the bag. This is actually still frozen, otherwise I could probably make it fit. I take all my meat out of the freezer Sunday morning, and that way it lasts for the week. So it sits in my fridge and just thaws out during the week in the kit. So that's clearly not gonna fit in there. And then the other thing is she says you can also, for garnish, have some toasted sesame seeds. I'm gonna skip that. And also large scallion. Put those in my bag. And that's it for that dinner kit. So if you're new, now that I've pretty much showed you how I do these, I'm just gonna go through the other 2 real quick because these aren't really meant to show you the actual recipe, but just how I do the dinner kits. So the next one I'm putting together is feta crusted chicken with buffalo sauce. Like I said, I'm gonna do this with mashed potatoes and Brussels sprouts. So those are not going in the bag. So the only thing I have going in the bag is my chicken, which I already have portioned out. So this one's very easy to put together in a kit because there are hardly any ingredients to this. So I have 2 5-ounce chicken breasts, and then I have already weighed out my 1/2 ounce of light butter. I have 1 ounce of fat-free feta crumbles. I also have 3/4 ounce of tricolored tortilla strips, and a lot of people ask me what those are. They're just, you find them in like where the bacon bits, kind of like the salad toppings, you find them over there. So that's all those are. And I just put 3/4 ounce, I weighed it out and then just crushed them in there. And also 2 teaspoons of Frank's Red Hot sauce, and that's it. And if you don't like hot, you can definitely still make this and just leave the buffalo sauce off. So for the buffalo sauce, you just mix the butter and the hot sauce together. So honestly, you could just kind of drizzle it with the butter afterwards. So I'll just put those in there. And then, like I said, when I go to make them, everything's already in the kit, all portioned out, ready to go. I get home from work, pull it out of my fridge and get going with it. So that's it for that one. But if you were going to be doing some type of vegetables, like say you're doing some roasted vegetables or something, you could go ahead and put your vegetables in the bag now. I thought about doing with the pork. I was going to do like some zucchini and squash, but I decided to just do rice and peas. But if I was doing some roasted vegetables like the zucchini and squash, I would put the zucchini and squash in the bag. Or sometimes I make like ranch cauliflower. I'll make the ranch sauce, put the cauliflower in the bag. So for this one, this is another one that has a marinade. I've not tried this recipe yet. This one is a Hungry Girl recipe. It's called Crazy Glazy Roast Pork Tenderloin. I am actually going to be using pork chops instead of pork tenderloin, but the pork chops that I get are basically from a pork loin. I just cut them myself anyway. So what I've already done with this is put the marinade together. This one actually makes enough for 4 servings, so I scaled it back because I only want 2 servings. So for the 4 servings, for the marinade, it's 2 tablespoons of soy sauce, a tablespoon of Worcestershire, 1 tablespoon of Dijon mustard, 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, 1 teaspoon of crushed garlic, and half a teaspoon of ground ginger. I went ahead and just did some of the fresh ginger that I have since I had some anyway. And then for the glaze, it's a 1/4 cup of jellied cranberry sauce, 1/4 cup of low sugar apricot preserves, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar, and 1 tablespoon of balsamic vinegar. I thought I had some apricot preserves in my fridge and I don't, so I'll have to stop and get that. So what I did for that is I just put in here, I just put the other ingredients. And again, I scaled it down, so I only have 1/8 of a cup of the cranberry sauce, and then I'll have to get 1/8 of a cup of the apricot preserves. I'll have to put that in there. So that's already mixed together. And then I already have my marinade mixed together. It says to marinate it 1 hour, so that night when I get home, I will just put the pork chops right in this bag and get them marinated for the hour, and they'll be ready to go. So that, and then I already have my pork chops here portioned out, and the cranberry sauce. And that's it for that one. So very super easy. And I'm not doing anything special for snacks this week. I really don't have any to prep. I just have some kiwi, some everything rice cakes with Laughing Cow cheese, and then my 2-point puddings. So I hope you liked this meal prep video. If you did, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new, I hope you'll subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll talk to you in my next video. I'm Kristi, and I'm Planning Us Healthy.